Hey music fans, my name's John, welcome to ARTV. Today I'm going to be doing my first ever top 10 list that's not for a year-in countdown type thing. I'm actually going to be doing these every couple of weeks, fingers crossed. Someone is helping me with the editing, filming for some of my sketches and that sort of thing, so it's going to take some of the workload off of me. Hopefully I can get more videos out to you guys. I hope you enjoy them. Let me know with a like that you did enjoy this video, and of course leave suggestions for other artists you'd like to see me sort through the top 10 of. It can't just be Panic at the Disco over and over again. I mean, maybe it could, but that would get boring after a while. Before we get into the top 10, let's go through a little bit of the history of Panic at the Disco in the form of pictures. Starting in 2005, these guys broke onto the scene whenever they signed with Pete Wentz's label Decadence, which is now known as DCD2. They really took over the scene in 2005, 2006, got a Rolling Stone cover, had a multi-platinum album under their belts, a huge hit single, top 10 in the United States with I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. Just an absolute smash that you can't deny, but it's probably the first top 10 list that you're ever going to watch that does not feature that song in the top 3. Between 2008 and 2011's Vices and Virtues, the band's next album, they actually lost a couple of members, including their primary lyricist, one of the founding members, Ryan Ross. Now that was a huge loss for them, but the band continued on. Vices and Virtues got mixed reviews from not only me, but a lot of critics. I felt like a lot of the best songs were on the bonus tracks, and that was kind of a downer for me, honestly. But they moved into 2013's Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, still carrying on as a two-piece. Lead singer Brendan Urie, of course, along with drummer Spencer Smith. Unfortunately, we got the news after the lead single, Miss Jackson, dropped in the summer of 2013 that Spencer Smith was entering rehab, something that he had been struggling with for years but was just finally getting help with. Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die was the band's best charting album and best-selling album in quite a while. It featured a couple of Hot 100 hits on that, including the amazing song This Is Gospel, Miss Jackson, of course, charting inside of the top 70 as well, and rumors also started to circulate about whether Spencer Smith would ever return to the band. In an open letter on the band's website, Smith confirmed what most fans were already suspecting. Yes, he did indeed leave the band. That left just Brendan Urie as the sole remaining member and the one that had been there from the start. Now, touring bassist Dallin Weeks was promoted to full-time status. I believe that was around the time of the release of Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, but he has since been demoted as confirmed on his Twitter. He's no longer contributing creatively to the band, but he is in fact still a touring member, leaving just Brendan Urie as the sole member of Panic at the Disco. In early 2015, the band released Hallelujah, the lead single from their new album Death of a Bachelor, which is just around the corner at this point, releasing several songs throughout the course of the year, leading up to its January 2016 release. Now, with that album just about to come up, and of course you know my reviews on the way, let's count down the top 10 Panic at the Disco songs, according to me. Number 10 is so close that I can almost taste it. Number 10 is certainly the newest song that you're going to see on this list, but there's a reason that it's risen up the ranks so quickly. New Clothes soars with this bold and theatrical chorus that I haven't seen the likes of since their 2005 debut. Urie really lets his voice howl here, and he sings with a smirk on this follow-up to 2013's This Is Gospel, a song that is mainly intended for former drummer Spencer Smith, although there are a lot of parts of it that are very applicable to other situations. Now, I think the video was the main thing that was supposed to be the follow-up to This Is Gospel, but I definitely see some, at least, correlations in terms of the lyrical content that's put out there, but I think there's a lot of different ways that it could go down. That's really pretty much the case with any song out there, though. Main thing I'm taking away from this, though, Panic at the Disco are gonna keep kicking ass no matter how many members are left in the band, and it's only one at this point.
Have some composure, where is your posture? Oh no, no, you're pulling the trigger, oh wrong. Have some composure, where is your posture?
That keyboard sequence has been lodged in the heads of longtime fans of this band for a decade now, and I, for one, am not complaining Not at all. Time to Dance is ripe with pomp and polished effects, yet still manages to be a hell of a good time that definitely feels genuine and real. Hey, if I ever get married, this song needs to be played at my wedding. That's going down on the record for anyone who ever sees that I'm getting married someday. Make sure that I know and remember that this song needs to be in my playlist. Future wife, if I ever do get married, if you're out there, hey, this song is getting played at our wedding. I don't care what anyone says. It's time to dance.
Things have changed for me, and that's okay. I feel the same. I'm on my way, and I say things.
I was so confused the first time I heard this song. I guess at the time I was just kind of naive. I didn't really pay attention to the changing sounds of bands that much from album to album, and I had heard None in the Afternoon. Didn't think that much of it, but whenever I heard That Green Gentleman, things have changed. I was thinking, is this really the same band that wrote I Write Sins, the song that I really got into and really what made me fall for them in the first place? It just felt different because they were going for more of kind of a peppy and almost upbeat and folk alternative style, and I didn't know how I felt about it at the time, but it was fortunate enough to really sink in with me throughout my high school years, something that I've still been coming back to plenty of times. I like the fact that they kind of pack in those sexual innuendos in the first part of the song, but then it grows into something so much more, like they're talking about how they're happy with this newfound revelation that they've had in life, like they need to cut out the bullshit and just keep moving forward and seeing things through the eyes of someone who can truly take on life. I really questioned the band whenever they first released Vices and Virtues in 2011 because 4 of my favorite songs on the thing were bonus tracks, ones that I collected from various online retailers and that sort of thing. And that's kind of weird that the bonus tracks just really outshone some of the standard ones that much. In fact, they kind of came down with bonus fever, something that I haven't seen diagnosed in too many other bands. It's a kind of rare condition, but Panic seemed to be stricken with it, and we're going to get to that more on the next song on our countdown. Anyways, I thought that some of the bonus tracks on this thing were fantastic. Oh Glory, Kaleidoscope Eyes, and of course, number 7 on our list, Stall Me. I honestly think that this is one of the most brilliant choruses that Yuri ever composed. This was the first album where he had to handle all of the lyricism, putting things together and that sort of thing, and not that he didn't collaborate with drummer at the time, Spencer Smith. It was just really cool to see him pulling something out of the bag that hit as hard as Stall Me did. It's as earwormy as it is smart, prodding listeners to really just dive deeper than surface level and pick up on exactly what he's trying to get across here. Number 6 is from Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, and it's a track called Can't Fight Against the Youth. That, along with All the Boys, were released on the Target Deluxe edition of this record, and I had to pick up that edition just because I felt the need to. After Vices and Virtues, I was like, well, I really like the bonus songs there, maybe these will be great too. And while I was disappointed with Too Weird to Live as a whole, I thought that these two were just fantastic tracks, with Can't Fight Against the Youth in particular really just popping in with those spry keyboards, the bombastic echoed vocals, especially on the chorus of this thing, really just charming me up to the point that it became one of the most played songs in my iTunes for Panic at the Disco. I was probably the most excited intern the office had ever seen in February 2011. I was a 19-year-old intern for this sports marketing place and sports radio, and I was kind of ignoring my workload, rocking the hell out to this brand new song from Panic at the Disco that I was hearing for the first time, and then the second time, and then the 5th time, just sitting there leaving this thing on replay because the Ballad of Mona Lisa had just came out, just getting into the music video, and it was exactly what I wanted to hear from Panic at the Disco. I feel like this is like one of the ultimate Panic songs that pretty much all fans can agree, hey, this is at least, at the very least, a very good Panic at the Disco song. Powering guitars and eerie bass mesh well with the sprinkled in keys that really just make for a song that, like I said, really should do it for pretty much any fan of Panic. The guys really seem to have the early parts of the 1900s in mind whenever conjuring up this song and video, with its lyrics and piano lead seemingly reflecting the indulgences of men at the time, having to be a little bit more secret about it, but at the same time, they weren't exactly trying to completely hide what they were going for, what they were interested in. I don't think that it was strictly about sex, or booze, or gambling, or cheating on your wife, or anything in particular, but there are things that definitely make that seem that it would be that way. All I know for sure is that this is yet another song and one of my favorite Panic songs that proves why they were able to establish their career and be taken seriously at such a young age.
Northern downpour sends its love. Hey moon, please forget to fall down. Hey moon, don't you go down.
This is probably the part of the video where a lot of my viewers are really starting to get anxious, biting their nails, waiting and wondering where the beloved I Write Sins Not Tragedy is going to fall on the list. I tell you what, I'm going to do you one better. I'm not going to give you that, but I'm going to give you an even better song. But it goes by the name of Northern Downpour from the album Pretty Odd in 2008, and I feel like this is one that gets overlooked a lot of the time. It's really just refreshing to go back to this song from time to time because Panic are definitely known for their theatric side, a lot of production and that sort of thing, and you see songs like this that are simply an acoustic guitar and vocals, not only from Brendan Urie, but Ryan Ross also singing on this one, and it's just a beautiful song. I was really debating which song to put here. I was thinking between this one and Do You See What I See, because I love both of those, and it was really close. I wanted to put a song that really reflected how I felt about Panic, and I think this is one that has stuck with me for even longer. While I do love so much of Pretty Odd, I just felt like Northern Downpour was a good representation of what got me into not only this album, but really more stuff in the acoustic guitar led vein, maybe some more folky stuff, and I like this song's lyrical content as well. Loneliness is a big theme here. I think that they're talking about kind of a girlfriend or else a lover that's gone away and they're not exactly sure what to do with themselves, not only in the physical aspect, but also in like just kind of the emotional vulnerabilities that they're feeling as a result. Just a really, really good tune that I feel like has stuck with a lot of people for a long time now.
If you love me, let me go. 'Cause these words are knives and obstinately scars.
After being somewhat underwhelmed by the lead single Miss Jackson, I think This Is Gospel really sent me reeling. Now at first I definitely thought, hey, this is a great song, and I feel like most of the world felt the same way. A lot of people love this song, but it's one that just continued to claw away at me until I eventually said, hey, you know what? Not only is this one of Panic's best songs, this is probably one of the best alt-rock songs of the 2010s so far. The driving drum rhythm really strikes me as one of the most fascinating parts of this well-oiled machine, but that's not to say that I don't also love the vocal effects that we're hearing, the strong guitars, or the very personal lyrics on this thing. I mean, it's great, mate. You know I'd rate 8 out of 8.
Swear to shake it up if you swear to listen, or we're still so young, desperate for attention. I aim to be your eyes, trophy boys, trophy wives.
It's hard to find another song that really brings to light the same charisma and energy, or even the presence that really could just rival this classic tune. It's just so damn accessible, yet somehow very snarky and almost sarcastic in a way. I'm not exactly entirely sure. They seem to be vying for the attention of music fans here, really swearing to shake things up if we swear to listen, and obviously fans have sworn to listen. A lot of people have stuck by Brendan Urie's side for the past decade, and obviously I love that this is my favorite Panic at the Disco song still. It's something that's stuck with me for so long, and there's so many reasons too. It's just not only catchy, but at the same time, I love just how fast-paced, energetic, and bombastic this tune is. There's a lot of attitude and spunk here, and that obviously has carried throughout the years quite well. I also really like that they're still swearing to shake things up. They're still bringing creative ideas to the table. And I think we're seeing that not only with Emperor's New Clothes, but there's been other tracks that I've enjoyed, obviously. I wasn't a huge fan of their past record, and I haven't been a fan of everything that I've heard from the new one. Death of a Bachelor is just around the corner. In fact, it's probably already out by the time I'm recording this video, but I'm excited to see what they're bringing to the table this time around. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my my top 10 favorite Panic at the Disco songs. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. Let me know your top 5, and let me know which artist I should do next. Death of a Bachelor, the album review is obviously just around the corner at this point. If you're wondering why I'm dressed like this, it's because of an opening sketch that I filmed for that video. You guys are gonna love it, I think. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video to let me know that you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. You can, of course, click directly below me. You can go right here, check out my last top 10 video, or you can go over here and check out my second channel, Beyond ARTV. Got a lot of cool stuff going on over there that's coming up, at least in 2016. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon for another top 10 countdown video right here on ARTV.